and welcome back. Started on the base for these guys. Um, Let me remove them, but here they are. This is kind of going to be the layout as far as, I'll tweak things here and there. But basically what we're going to have is we're going to have a river or a stream coming down. I guess we're going to say it's coming down this way or that way. Don't matter which flow. I'm wondering if it's going to go this way and have two combine into one. That's what I'm thinking. So I think I'm going to make the flow pattern this way. Just in case I do any rippling and rapids, it's going to look like it's flowing that way, I think. Usually many veins of streams and creeks come into one river, so we'll do that. But anyway, and then we got like a little mountain thing kind of going on here. Here's our AT-AT, who's pretty much ready for weathering and all that stuff. He's looking good. And our little AT-ST. Also, I used cardboard to get him up a little bit higher. I used one piece of cardboard just overall, and then to just build up the riverbed and to make that a little more shallower. And I wanted him up a little bit higher just to help with the scaling, since these guys are a hair off in scaling. Just a hair. I think what is the AT-AT 153 scale, and I'm believing that since he's really close to the Bondi 148 scale, I think it is, or is he a 144th? I'm not sure, but he's really close to that. I think they're a 148. But even he is a little different, very close to the Bondi, but the head's a little different, a little skinnier. So yeah, I used some cardboard, hot glued that down to get a little bit of a height and platform when I start doing the terrain. And I just been finding old pieces of styrofoam and hot gluing them together to kind of build a mountain, and then I'll use some sculpting stuff to smooth this all in and make it rock. But this is going to be one area of the Revell fort, and this is going to be the main area of the Revell fort. I kind of had a piece that has this here. I'm going to chip it all up because you can just chunk pieces off like that to get some roughness to make it look more like rock. On the side of a mountain. And I just vacuumed in here from all these little foam balls. But this is just kind of still in massive rough stage. This one's coming a little further where I'm putting little chunks in. I think here I ordered 3D printed cannons, and I think there's 4 of them, so I'm going to put 3 there, and they have 2 cannons per turret area that I ordered from Shapeways, and I think I'm going to put 1 here and the other 3 here. And this is going to be a part of like a Revell building that's in the mountain. That's going to be hidden kind of in the mountain, and all this is a cat treat. It's a container from the treats I get my cat in, but it had these cool little sides here, which you won't be able to see unless I maybe turn it this way. But it's clear plastic, so it's going to be hard to see. But it's got this cool shape here that I like, and then I'll just add a whole bunch more greeblies to it. Right now I got styrene taped to it. That's going to be a panel, and I carved some panel lines in it, and we'll do much more. But this plastic that that stuff's produced, like for these containers and stuff, is the glue takes a lot to soften it. It's not like styrene where it melts like instantly. But it will glue to it. Right here here's the engines to the old Cylon Raider that came with the monogram Cylon Raider. These were supposed to be the engine grills in the back. And like I said, I always keep those parts, so I'm making it look like some type of roof ventilation. And then I have I made a kind of a square, and then I cut it in half and then put the other half on this side. Problem is this board wants to move my whole cutting mat at the same time. I don't know if you can see the shape there. I added a grill there from photo etch that I had extra. Yeah, and I have the other half on this side. I have them like opposite. And this point's going up and this point's going down. Just to add something. And I'm starting to bring some styrofoam. I have to fill in here because the styrofoam was hollow. Although it'd be kind of neat, you could put like, I could almost put little troops in there. Rebel guys like they're hiding in with some computers. I could do that. It kind of looks like little tunnels. But nah, I'm going to just make this all, I'm going to stuff stuff in here so this is all solid. But this is all rough. You just kind of rough fill and then you can start chipping away to get some shapes. And of course I'm doing this after I just vacuumed the studio. From the mess I had last night. But that's what's nice with these little styrofoams made of balls. They chip up really nice. If you want, if it was more sharp broken rocks, that blue foam at the hardware store is great. You can just take knives and just kind of cut in and snap, and it gives you those sharp rock edges. But this is going to be kind of more of a jungle, so it's going to look grown in. It's going to kind of be rocky, but soily, and bushes and vegetation all over it, because I want this to be a jungle scene. So it's, you really got, this is more for structure of height, probably more than actually seeing rock. It's just supposed to, you know, because I'm gonna jungle it up a lot. There's gonna be plants and trees and everything going all over here, hopefully. But this, I kind of like this shape. So I'm going to kind of make it look like they kind of carved something in here and then have the 3 gun turrets and the same thing here. Put another one here. But we're going to try to make this as camo as possible, even though they have this little building. But they always have some type of little building sneaking out. Even in the Hoth Snow World, you see stuff. They had a field generator, a shield generator, but it wasn't the right scale. It was either too small or too big. And I don't know if I could tell them to print it in a certain scale, but as I can see, I'm running out of room here as is. I started putting the models on here and I'm like, whoa, am I going to be able to fit a lot of trees? Because I want it to be pretty thick. And the ATST is going to sit here kind of, and I got a E-Web, 3D printed E-Web gun, if you remember from Mandalorian and stuff, which I'm going to have, you know, troopers putting it here, getting ready to do a whole battle. You know, we'll have it like the ATA found this base and called in the troops. So the ATST's coming and everything. And then down in here, we'll probably do some stuff in vegetation, and then maybe I'll have a couple of the troopers, rebel guys hiding in here. I didn't order a lot of figures. I did find some 3D printed figures that I hopefully, from what they're saying, they're 1/48 or what are they saying, 28 millimeters, which would be 2.8 centimeters. So it should be, you know, right about there. That should be about the right scale. They say for 1/48 to 1/47 scale, which these are close. Since it's 153, and I'm guessing he's close to a 1/48 scale. So, we'll see. But I found a couple rebel guys and I found a couple troopers. You can easily find first order troopers, but regular stormtroopers in the scale I wanted on least shapeways was kind of hard. And I wish they would give you more options of what scales to print them at. But no problem. We found, I think, what we need. And I think that's all I ordered as far as for the guys. I think I ordered 4 or 5 rebels, and I know I ordered 8 stormtroopers doing separate things. And then the E-Web gun. The grills up here from the Star Trek Enterprise bridge. It's those panels that glow underneath the consoles. This is from the photo etch kit, and it gave you 2, so I glued those up in there. And then we're going to have some piping going different ways, making it look like it's going in here to, you know, whatever, ventilation or power. And I'm going to slowly hide this, kind of make it go into terrain a little bit more, too. And add more detail to this. This is just a start. This is all rough. kind of getting the layout out. And then we'll start chipping, and then I'll start covering this all up. I think I'm going to try to sculpt it, but... And then we'll get all this going. It looks rough and stair-steppy, but once you start adding, you know, whatever I decide to use on this ground, it'll smooth it all in, but it'll give it that steppy kind of weirdness than trying to do it just with knives. And using this is much cheaper than using the filler. You know, we'll go around all these edges and make it all look blended in, but I wanted kind of a border. Some areas can chop out, you know, and then it gives me areas for trees. I can put some trees back here. It gives me good solid wood to drill some trees down into. Yeah, and I got a lot of filling in back here. And we'd probably want to bring this up a little bit up here. Maybe I'll have a Revell up here too. A Scout looking. I had to tape those because, like I said, it don't want to stick on its own. If you hold it, the styrene will glue to it, but I think I still... It's hard to tell if that's just squishing or do I need a glue. But that's where we're at on the base, so it's going to be cool. Alright. Got some plaster down over the foam. It's looking good. Got some cracking, but this is mud and rock, so that's natural. Eventually, once it gets painted and all the vegetation, you won't see it. I do want to fix this seam where the two pieces of cardboard went together. There's a lot of plaster down on here, so it all shrunk and cracked a little bit, but that's okay. Like I said, here it's actually going to work to our advantage. But I do want, that's a straight cut. We'll get rid of that. But again, with the paint and all the vegetation, it's probably going to go away. But I was looking at some of the stormtroopers I have. They're going to be great. I got these I got before I got my printer. Because just thinking ahead, I just went and ordered stuff. I kind of like to do that when I get even a model kit. And there's some I've had for a year or more. But I still get all the third-party stuff I want to get, just in case it's hard to find that stuff anymore. And when I decide, I can go right away and just start trucking on it. But I have a whole bunch of files of more troopers. I don't want to go too crazy, because this is a small little scene, and I got 8 of them already. 4 of them doing one pose and 4 of them doing another. But I have some other troopers that I can have that are more specialty and stuff that I can print out. You know, and I have an E-web here that I want to put an E-web gun here. I got this Rebel guy, so I'm going to make it look like he's maybe been fighting here. And I got a bunch of other Rebel guys I need to print, because the other ones, he's a little bit on the big side. So, and the others are really on the big side compared to these stormtroopers. So, I think this is the tallest I would want to go. Even that is, we're going to have scale issues. Especially ordering. I could replace all these guys and scale them a little better, but even this guy's a little bit bigger than he should be for the AT-AT. But that's fine. But since he's crouched and he's going to be up there, it's really kind of hard to tell, and he's kind of a creature-y kind of guy, so that's fine. But I was looking through the files I have, and I have different alien creatures from the genre that I can have as Rebel fighters, so it looks like different aliens from across the galaxy. And we'll keep the troopers as normal stormtroopers. You know, I got some specialty characters, like we'll have Han and Leia. No Luke. I didn't see any Lukes. But we'll definitely have Han and Leia. We have Ahsoka, which I might put her up here, because she's always, like in The Mandalorian, she's always up high looking down. I got a Darth Vader. We can have him kind of crawling around if not. But if not, I might at least put Darth Maul in the scene just for the heck of it. I think I'll just put him in there just because I want him in there. I want a Sith Lord with a lightsaber. And Darth Vader, the one I have, he's lightsabers. He's just kind of he's just kind of just standing there, kind of like he's seeing what the action's all about. But I also have a Yoda that has his lightsaber out, so I'm gonna have Yoda and Ahsoka as the Jedi's. And I don't have any Obi-Wans. If I do, I think he's in a like, you know, gun mode like during the Clone Wars. We'll keep it kind of simple because I can go crazy. I see all the things I have, and I just want to start putting them on everything. Well, so we'll keep it down. I want the rebels to look like they're mainly hiding, but I do have some like regular rebel troopers, like you seen in the beginning of A New Hope when they're in the Canteen 4. I have one that's injured and laying down, another that's laying down to shoot, another guy that's shooting. So I'll throw those guys here. Gets a couple of our specialty characters like Yoda, and Ahsoka and Han and Leia, and we'll have a bunch of. I'll do one of each alien type rebel soldier, and then we'll have a bunch of stormtroopers and coming in, getting all set up. But I was looking. I have these. These are where the guns are gonna go. And it gets 2 cannons, which are a double cannon on each. I was thinking about putting one over here. I'm still on the fence if I don't put one over here. Like right here was the spot I was thinking. And I could still do that. Just not sure if I want to kind of keep this more of a terrain they're just using, and this is more of the where they're hiding in. I found a use maybe for some of these barrels. I could always print some smaller, but I think these will work. They're not overly big. They're just big barrels. So I could probably sneak some in here like they're storing stuff. Once we put vegetation and a couple trees up here, I think they'll be fine. I might do something. I have this file printing thing even had a little terminals. It was just pretty much like a computer monitor where you have like the base and then the back that holds the monitor and the monitor comes up. I might try to get a little platform in here to have one there. I have some like space boxes that are canon to Star Wars I could stash in here. Like they have a stash if they need to get stuff quick, equipment quick. So that's what I'm thinking about for all this stuff. But trying to see what I want to do here, or do I want to put a bunch of rocks kind of here, and I'm not sure. Maybe put a boulder here, and then rest vegetation in little ways they can get in, where it's like hidden, but they can stash some compartments in here. And if I can get that one of those terminals there, that would look cool. I found some more stuff I can put on here, like little short antennas. I even had a moisture evaporator, which is great. I might print some of those up for the sand crawler. Like to go with the... Because I assume I'm eventually going to do something like this and build a platform for it to sit on. Because it'd be neat. And to have that pile of debris... This pile of debris outside the sand crawler, and then I have a moisture evaporator here and there. It would be great. But I was wondering, could I use a moisture evaporator for here? But we're in a jungle, and a moisture evaporator is really a thing that they farm for moisture in a desert planet. So it really doesn't make sense, but it'd be kind of neat to have for like an iconic thing. I don't know if we can say that it also purifies water, and that's the way they're getting water for here. So maybe I could stick one over here. I don't know. Maybe I'll print one and see if it looks. But yeah, it's really, moisture evaporators would be more for a desert planet, in my opinion. But maybe here we'll say it also purifies the water. Like a wonderful show that I like to watch, his builds is Aztec Dummy. I really, he's been one of the guys, him and Trekworks, boy over at Trekworks. I like to watch their stuff a lot, and this reminds me when he was doing the Hillbilly Jalopy. and the same issue he was having. There's, especially when you have a 3D printer, there's so many things you can add on to it, but it gets to a point where it's like, wow, now it's adding too much. You know, less is more sometimes. Adding too much is, you know, it takes away from the things you did put on there. So you got to kind of pick and choose, because you can go wild. But yeah, what are we doing here? I got some greeblies that I want to... This is kind of a hatchy kind of thing. I think I might stick that here, like that's a little secret hatch into there. I don't know if there's anywhere on the mountain I could stick one. I would probably have to do a little carving again to get one. I don't know if I have smaller hatches, maybe one in here. I even got pogs from The Last Jedi. Those stupid little birds, round fat birds. I might stick those stupid guys like on the outsides, just for a laughter thing. Because it has them all screaming, and there's some ledges here I could put them on, just for shits and giggles. Would they be on this planet? We're not really on the planet that Luke was on, but anyway, we don't even know where we're at, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to put that there, and we'll hide it with bushes so it looks more, you know, incognito. And then I have a control panel here, or just a panel, that I think I'm going to stick on this side. Don't want to do too much, like, control stuff on here. And then I might have some, like, types of piping going up here, and there was antennas to something in that Star Wars bundle. But they would look good as little communication antennas for up here. And like I said, we're going to have so much going around, it would look hidden. But I think that's pretty much where we're at. We'll do one of these droids smaller, crashed here, and I have a print where he has his legs, so I can have his legs all, and then we'll make it look like he was the one that found them first. And then called in the rest of the guys, and then we'll have that smaller scout, that sphere that floats around. I'll have him sneaking, maybe trying to sneak around back here or something. But I like to try to... I wish I could fit all the characters on here, because there's some one-off characters. That slug-looking creature from, man, I wanted to say Book of Boba Fett. Down there in Tatooine, there's a different type of hut that's in a chair. Like one of Jabba's relatives. But it would look like a crowd at a stadium or something. No place for trees. You know, we want to kind of catch this scene at the beginning, where these guys are getting ready. They're ready to set up a gun, the E-Web gun, to really start blasting. Maybe he already hit him right here in the face. And we'll see where we can, once we print the other guys, where they can go. You know, I'm definitely thinking to soak up here Boba Fett, or maybe Mandalorian, because he looks like he's just getting his rifle. I have 3 different poses for him. I want the one where he's getting his rifle and looking down, so that's kind of a sniper type look. But I think that's where we'll call this an end. I just wanted to give a little update to show you what it looks like a little further than just styrofoam and cardboard.